This right here is Minneapolis.
Somali Salim
Salam alaikum, broken news.
Specifically, it's the Somali neighborhood within Minneapolis that has recently become controversial due to two figures. Congresswoman
Ilhan Omar of Minnesota.
Dumbing of the United States has arrived.
and mayoral candidate Omar Fateh.
Where Democratic Socialist State Senator Omar Fateh is now just 5 points behind Jacob Fry.
Minneapolis.
There may be no immigrant community in the nation more tied to its political leaders than the Somalis in Minnesota, so we decided to go past the clickbait and culture war and explore the community with curiosity.
That's what America stands for. Like, everybody's segregated in their own community.
But they're walking around in sandals in the winter, and you're just going, oh my God.
What's it really like? Do they love America?
Our children will take a gun to defend national interest of the United States.
Our journey took us to a massive open-air Somali mall, which a cop escorted us out of, to Omar Fateh's campaign HQ, to a studio where we interviewed Somali's Parliamentarian who actually lives in Minnesota. Come with us to Minneapolis.
We in Minneapolis, man. Murderapolis, bitch, get in tune.
That was not the greeting we expected when we pulled into Cedar, Riverside.
Misconception in my eyes would be that the Somali community are a threat. No, before Somali, we're Muslim. And Somali people that are real Muslims that are on their deen and on their way, peaceful. 3 mosques just in walking distance right now as we speak. And it's so beautiful that you can just take your feet and just walk to the mosque. Everything's easy over here.
I asked Salim how he ended up in Minneapolis, and he told us that he was actually born in Kenya, which many Somalis fled to after its government collapsed in 1991.
Obviously, I'm an immigrant, but at the end of the day, this country welcomed me. For my family to strive in this country, I'm glad and I'm thankful.
But Salim then fell into hot water in South Dakota, where he was charged for murder.
To this day, if you Google my name, Sioux Falls, you're gonna see murder. It's called defamation of character for real. I missed the birth of my niece.
Something you didn't do.
Something I didn't even do. Yeah. I feel like I got a little story to tell too. My name's Salim Muhammad, man, and I ain't not a murderer.
Yeah, well, dude, I'm glad at least you're out now, and hopefully you get justice.
Justice been served, but to who?
We left Salim and turned the corner where we saw the fire he referenced, and also tried to interview some locals. We're trying to figure out what happened.
Yeah, we have a
you know what happened? No, I don't. Do you know what happened here? I don't know. Well, do you know what happened here?
I don't know.
What surprised us was how many Somalis we met who moved to Minneapolis from other states. There's really been a second migration to Minneapolis for Somalis. First to America, and then concentrating there. One of the Somalis who's done just that is Omar Fateh, who was born in D.C.
Yo, Yasin, Team Kega, we need volunteers.
Today, nearly 100,000 Somalis live in Minnesota, and the majority of them are in the Twin Cities.
And I want to speak directly to the Somali community. Minneapolis is your city.
We are in Cedar, Riverside, which is the Somali capital, not just of Minneapolis, but of the U.S. And right behind us are some of their apartment buildings. This is the sort of center of where the Somalis live. Now, 50% of the people in this neighborhood speak Somali, and we're talking to some of the residents. We then met the facilities manager of these towers, who's managed them for nearly 50 years.
But I've worked in it for 46 years.
How has it changed?
Just different immigrants.
So a lot of Somalis live here?
Yes. In fact, I think it's one of the largest populations in the cities. Yes, I think they do kind of stick to themselves, but I have a bunch of them that work under me, and they're pretty social. Some of the first ones came here, and I know it's a money issue, but they're walking around in sandals in the winter, and you're just going, oh my God. But they came here. Once they got established here, then they follow each other. Right. So they want to be with people that speak the same language, and it has changed a lot. There's several bars that used to have live music, the last of which just closed a few weeks ago. And the Somali East African people have been buying those buildings up for daycare centers, mosques, and various things. So the neighborhood's changed a lot, but I consider it an evolution.
This Omar Fateh, who's running for mayor, do you have an opinion on him?
Not a real positive one, but...
You like Jacob Fry?
Better than I like Omar.
Yeah. It was during this conversation that we actually saw Omar Fateh. Oh my goodness, I think that's Omar Fateh right there. We gotta go try to interview him. How are you? Nice to meet you. Hello. We didn't want to shove the camera in his face, so we asked him for an interview, then later implored his campaign team to talk to us. Unfortunately, no luck. Everywhere we looked in this area, we saw Omar Fateh signs, and his popularity has enraged the right, including Trump's Deputy Chief of Staff, Stephen Miller, and other conservative voices who consider him a travesty.
Well, the Democrat Party has become a party that aids and encourages violence.
Fateh has indeed made a number of controversial claims.
The greatest domestic threat facing the United States comes from, quote, specifically those who advocate for the superiority of the white race.
But he's not the only Somali politician who's done that. Congresswoman Ilhan Omar, who's elected to Congress alongside AOC in 2018, has invited much controversy herself.
Our country should be more fearful of white men because they are actually causing most of the deaths within this country.
Yeah, there is nothing more up than to completely pretend that his words have not been recorded. These people are full of
You know, I met the head of Somalia, did you know that? And I suggested that maybe he'd like to take her back, and he didn't want it.
Now, while Somalis remain a minority in Minneapolis, Ilhan Omar and Fateh have both struck alliances with white progressives, making them a formidable force. But sometimes this alliance has proven unwieldy, like with gender ideology in schools. Somali parents demanded their kids be pulled out of gender classes. One mom told the school board, "We believe that we have a sacred obligation to teach the principles of our faith to our children without being undermined by the schools." This caused one school board member to cry and tell the Somali women that the queer community has been so good to them. We kept walking around looking for interviews and then stumbled upon an 8th grader playing basketball on one of its courts. Do you want to play one-on-one?
Yeah.
No, we're cutting that. Get it back. One off. Hit 3.
No.
Bro, you just winded the hell out of me. How do you like living here?
It's good, but it's still dangerous. I mean, because if you look online, it's gonna say there's like a lot of crime and stuff, but it's really just chill out here. We have a lot of programs. At the Bronco, we have a basketball team. We have a soccer team as well. Yeah. It's like a regular neighborhood. We have a community and stuff.
What do you want to be when you're older?
A basketball player or a businessman.
Do you want to live here when you're older?
No, I want to move out soon. It's a good place if you want to come in like right now. Yeah, I speak Somali. Assalamu alaikum, broken news.
There we go.
Yeah, we love America. It's just like some stuff that Trump did before.
Not a big fan?
Yeah.
Boom! Bank's open, baby.
Okay.
Hey, let's go, hubby. Boom. Yeah.
But Cedar Riverside is not like what they show online. If you actually come here, like during the summer, there's kids outside, uncles, aunts. We have a local mosque. We pray. It's like a good place. I have one older sister.
How many kids are in most families?
3, 4.
Do you view Somalis and blacks differently?
Major skin color. Black.
Yeah. It was touching to meet a kid from the next Somali generation like Abdi and to humanize the Somalis in a way they often aren't. But the cultural differences, some argue, are too difficult to ignore. The Cedar Riverside neighborhood has changed enormously in recent years. All right, so you'll see a ton of now closed businesses in this neighborhood, like this bar here. So there are a bunch of bars that have closed down. This used to be a Scandinavian neighborhood, and now because of the Somali majority population, they don't make as much sense. But it wasn't just in Cedar Riverside that the Somalis lived. We next visited the massive open-air Somali mall just a few miles away, where we had a little snag. By the way, if you're enjoying this video, please make sure to subscribe. We capture the world without bias or fear, and these kind of videos bring that mission to life. The right want to make Somalis look bad, the left want to elevate them. We try to just hold a mirror. If you support that mission, hit subscribe. Now back to Minneapolis. All right, so we're pulling up on the Somali Mall in the area, the Karmel Mall, which is the largest Somali mall. The Karmel Mall was massive. These shots simply don't do it justice, and this footage probably won't do the overwhelming sense of alienation we felt inside it justice either. All right, so we're gonna go inside the Karmel Mall, which is fashioned after an open-air Somali bazaar. There's a fashion store here, some jewelry, totally different style of mall here. You get the henna stand over here. The scale of this mall is enormous. It makes sense that there are about 80,000 Somalis in Minnesota, the vast majority of whom are in this area. So right at the end of this mall, by the way, you have a mosque.
Within our community, we usually send money back home to the less fortunate.
So up there they have a money place you can send
back? Right there.
All right, so this is what he's talking about in the front, a place where you can easily send money back home or wherever. Roughly 40,000 Minnesotans were born in Somalia, so many are still in close touch with their families back home. The link between Somalia and Minnesota can't be overstated. The president of Somalia often visits, and some Somali politicians live in the Twin Cities, like the parliamentarian we interviewed later. I would say in all the reporting we've done, this is one of the most difficult spots to get an interview. People are very guarded here. I don't know if it's because they assume there's a hit piece or they simply don't want to talk at all. People have been extremely guarded and in some cases a little hostile. We continue to walk around the Karmel Mall when, as if we weren't out of place enough already, a cop came to escort us to building management. Yeah, it's called Road to News. We do this all over the country.
Yes, I told the camera.
Oh, you saw the camera? Yeah.
So where's the YouTube?
Road to News. ROCA News. All right, so we were just pulled aside by security. Now we're okay though to film inside. So one interesting thing is when a store is unoccupied, people won't necessarily lock it. We've seen a lot of unattended to stores. So it's clearly like a high trust community here, and we are the only two white guys in all 4 floors of this. It's very unique. So here's an open eating area, Somali flag and Palestine flag. So they got a couple new style of pizzas I've never seen. The Oddcock pizza, I don't know how to say the Halib Jakal, ala Makan, different kinds of pizza. So behind us on the rooftop of the cafeteria, you can see the Somali flag. Some people, at least on social media, talked about how it's very similar to the new Minnesota flag. And so they wondered if there might have been some overlap there. Others say that's ridiculous, but that was a topic of conversation.
A couple recent polls, somewhere around half of Minnesotans said they wanted to keep the old flag.
We then interviewed a woman entrepreneur from Somalia who had some fascinating insights.
I moved from Sweden 5 years ago. What brought me? I came here because there was already Somali community established. So I said, okay, let me go there so that I can start my business. Somali community are like huge supporters for each other.
The white Americans around, are they friendly? Are they not?
I know none of them. When I was coming to America for the first time, I was carrying a Swedish passport and I was black and hijabi, you know? And the officers in the immigration, they were like, they probably were expecting a Viking. That's what America stands for. Like everybody's segregated in their own community. White people are with white people. Somali people are with Somali people. That's what America is. You come here, you start your own community, and you stay with your community. So people normally in America are not very fond of strangers. I think they just don't want to speak with somebody that don't share maybe the same beliefs. It's helping each and every Somali person. We have over 600 businesses, and 95% of those businesses are women businesses. But what I can tell you, Somali women are those who build the entire Somalia.
Is there a conflict between Ilhan Omar's progressive views and conservative Muslim teaching?
When it comes to us, basically my view, no. But then I don't know how somebody else can view her. I just applaud her. We love her. Like as Black, African, Somali, Muslim, like women, I look up to her, definitely. Like she is what every Black Muslim hijabi woman wanna be.
What do you do here in this business?
We basically do money transfer, and a lot of people help back home. That's the truth. You see all these people, like old women that don't even speak good English, work. Every morning they wake up and they open their businesses and they welcome people and they sell. Everybody's just here to pursue their American dream. I came at an early age and I have never thought of leaving my religion or my culture, but I always embrace whatever culture I come to. The first time that I came to America, I have to identify myself as a Black person. I have never seen anywhere in the world, and I have lived so many places in the world. I think America is the one that encourages people to identify and segregate people and put people in different boxes, and I think that is what America encourages. Somali people, they never felt like they were fully African or fully Black or fully Arab. They always say, I am Somali. Some of them identify themselves as Arab people. Some of them identify themselves as Black people. And here they have to like put themselves in a box So that's what I have learned in America.
Sure, it's a good opportunity to move to America, but do Somalis love America, though? We ended our trip to the nondescript office of United Somali TV, where we interviewed Somalia's parliamentarian Mohammed Dini for a discussion on Somali-U.S. relations.
In the Middle East, no other nation came to us because there was a warlords in Mogadishu, and Americans came to us. They assisted Somali people and paid millions of dollars. Number one supporter when it comes to Somalia's stability and peace is Americans.
Indeed, the U.S. came to Somalia's defense after its government collapsed in 1991, welcoming tens of thousands of Somali refugees in the 90s thanks to Clinton and then later Bush. We also aided the Somalis in the war that followed the collapse, including in 1993 for the Battle of Mogadishu as depicted in Black Hawk Down.
We got a Black Hawk Down, we got a Black Hawk Down.
And a lot of people will say, oh, maybe they don't love America, but you're saying that's not at all the case.
That's not the case. And I'm representing a state called Puntland. We have been fighting ISIS. The only backer who supported us, Americans. Somalis came in Minnesota or in the United States in 1993. When there was a famine, President Bush sent U.S. military to Somalia. The reason was to save the starving people. I appreciate that. Somali Americans belong to this great nation. Somalis in America, again and again, love United States of America. They want to defend American value. Any rhetoric statements or negative words doesn't represent one ethnicity. Somali Americans, they are in the military, they are in healthcare industry, they are teachers, they are policemen and women. Anything that hurts the image of our community is unacceptable to us. I'm Somali American. American is paid billions of dollars since 1960. So that's the ideology and mentality. So forget about someone who is a TikToker saying Somalis, they are not belonging to American dream.
Yeah.
We belong. Ilhan, Omar, a congresswoman, and Mr. Fateh, they are Americans and they are Democrats. 99% of the Somali community already mixed within the American political system. They are working to build a better America. And also Minnesota is a great and miracle state because the majority of Somali community that live in this state. Every Somali American, whether he's a left or right, they are contributing again and again to American dream. Living in the United States and living in the great state of Minnesota was a gift from Allah, God. Gift from God. Socially issues Somalis believe to be a good neighbor, to respect the different religions in the United States. And Islam itself believes that all religions must be respected. Somalis, they believe whether you are a Jew, whether you are Buddhist, whether you are Christian, we can live together. We can be good neighbors. I want to go back one more time. American contribution to Somalia. The region of Puntland have been fighting almost 8 months, 10 months against ISIS. Who came to you and assisted? Americans. We didn't see any other superpower. And I had an event with Somali community in Minnesota. What I told them was, you guys, if you have a best friend, this is the right people, United States. We took an oath, which is allegiance. Somalis in Minnesota or in the United States are ready to protect and fight for the American dream and respect and work American interests all over the world. And I am one of them. Our children, when they grow up, they will defend this great nation by using their pen, and they will take a gun to defend American values and national interests of the United States.
Dini swears that the negativity you read online is all just noise. Off camera, someone in the studio even told us that he's a Republican and that many Somalis would be Republicans if they didn't feel so excluded. The disconnect between politicians like Fateh and Omar and your everyday Somalis was large, according to Dini. But then we couldn't help but think, was he performing for us too? Everywhere we went, we saw more Somali flags and Palestine flags than American flags. But wouldn't it have been the same in Little Italy in the 1920s? Are the Somalis just the latest migrant group to be smeared like this? That is for you to decide, and we wanted to give you a glimpse to help you with that decision. Our next Minneapolis video, by the way, is on another controversial topic. It's about the 5 years since George Floyd. Stay tuned for that, and thank you so much for watching.